business.
This is the CBS Sunday Night News. Bill Plante reporting. Good evening. Sunday meetings at the White House. Topic, the economy. But this time, as President Clinton seeks to regain the political initiative, there's less talk of sacrifice for everyone. Instead, the word is tax the rich. Randall Pinkston has our report.
President Clinton huddled with economic advisors, with budget cutting set to be high on the priority list.
Whatever is done is going to emphasize both stimulus to the economy and long-term deficit reduction.
Despite recent statistics showing improvements in productivity and an increase in job growth, the president's labor secretary painted a somber picture.
The number of people applying for unemployment insurance is about the same. The help wanted index is about the same. Basically, the job situation is simply dead in the water.
One thing seems inevitable: taxes on the wealthy, families earning more than $200,000 a year.
We have to make sure that those who made out like bandits over the last 12 years are those who pay the biggest price.
But Republicans are already attacking any plans for taxes or spending. 5 leaders sent Mr. Clinton a letter arguing that he should focus on budget reductions first and stay away from cuts in Social Security benefits.
You gotta hunt ducks where they're flying. With Social Security, you're hunting ducks in the desert. Social Security is not part of the problem.
Hoping to dampen opposition, Mr. Clinton is already cutting his own staff, trying to convince everyone he is serious about sacrifice. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, the White House.
And there's more fallout today from Mr. Clinton's problems in trying to get an attorney general. Commerce Secretary Ron Brown admitted today that he had failed to pay Social Security taxes for a part-time cleaning woman until after the issue torpedoed Mr. Clinton's first choice for Attorney General, Zoe Baird.
They were paid as soon as I found out there was an obligation to pay them. And I never employed any illegal aliens.
Brown said that he was not asked about illegal aliens or tax payments while he was being investigated and cleared for his cabinet job.
It did not come up during the nomination process.
Labor Secretary Robert Reich confirmed that he had never been asked the questions either, and he seemed to resent the fact that they were asked today.
I have never, my wife and I have never, to my knowledge, done anything illegal. But again, I'm not here to talk about babysitters. I'm here to talk about the economy.
And even Vice President Gore could not escape the same inquiry.
No, we've been lucky, and the Tipper's been able to stay home with our children, and we have also paid Social Security taxes on everybody that's worked for us.
Women's groups say that females are being unfairly singled out in the questioning about child care and domestic help. They say they will now ask every official, appointed or elected, the same question. Federal Judge Kimba Wood, the president's second prospective nominee for Attorney General, withdrew her name on Friday. She had employed an illegal immigrant before U.S. law made that a crime. She did nothing illegal, but the White House decided the issue would be a political liability. White House officials suggested that Judge Wood had given narrow and misleading answers to the illegal alien question. She is now fighting back. In a letter to the New York Times, Wood denies that she misled anyone. FBI Director William Sessions, under fire from some of his subordinates in the Bureau, got a boost from Vice President Al Gore, who noted that the allegations appeared to be political in nature. Nonetheless, the New York Times reported today that the White House is looking at possible successors to head the Bureau. Still ahead on the CBS Sunday Night News, the world pays tribute to Arthur Ashe.
I just can't stand this anymore. How am I supposed to fall asleep with this pain? I could take one of those nighttime pain relievers with a sleep ingredient. But all I really need is Advil to help stop the pain that's keeping me up. Just Advil. That's all I want. Without the extra sleep ingredient, I don't want. Advil is so effective, it relieves the pain, so I can get to sleep.
Discover the relief of Advil at bedtime. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Chapstick medicated, please.
Introducing Chapstick Medicated, triple medicated. You can feel it working immediately. New Chapstick Medicated, triple medicated relief.
I try to ignore my sensitive teeth, but they hurt.
Sensodyne helps stop the pain that can make you stop brushing, could lead even to tooth loss. And now, Sensodyne has fluoride.
Fluoride, great.
New Sensodyne helps stop the pain of sensitive teeth.
This could be a crucial week in the search for peace in Bosnia. The UN Security Council plans to step in, and the Clinton administration will reveal its plans. Barry Peterson reports.
Monday will be cheered in Sarajevo. The UN resumes its airlift, stopped over the weekend after a German plane was fired on. And Monday is a big day for those seeking a diplomatic end to the shooting. Yet another deadline set by negotiators at the UN in New York. The Security Council will take over if the warring sides can't make a deal. Today, as the talks continued, the mood was as bizarre as the conflict itself. A deal struck not to fight so hard that it threatens the chance for peace. Late today, the negotiators emerged.
We haven't made a lot of progress, to be honest. Maybe we've clarified some issues, but it's not been easy, really, because we've not been able to get the three parties sitting together, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, in Europe, they were talking tough. At a meeting of NATO defense ministers that included Les Aspin, NATO's boss was saying enough was just about enough if peace talks fail.
So we must not shrink from the legitimate use of force if we are to remain credible.
But everyone is waiting to see what the Clinton administration policy will be. An announcement is expected later this week. And if the president rules out using American force anytime soon, the Europeans are unlikely to go it alone. Barry Peterson, CBS News, London.
Israeli soldiers shot and killed a Palestinian in East Jerusalem today for a total of 7 since Friday in the latest escalation of violence. Jesse Schulman reports.
Stone-throwing Palestinian teenagers have been taking on Israeli troops in the Gaza Strip in a new round of clashes, and the death toll is mounting fast. On Friday, soldiers killed 3 Palestinians in their car after seeing weapons inside. 3 more were killed in the street battles that followed. The number of killings has risen sharply since the December deportations of more than 400 accused Islamic extremists. Last week's U.S.-Israel deal for the return of about 100 of the deportees has been showing signs of strain. The Rabin government today denied the U.S. was pushing for more and refused to rule out further deportations in the future.
As in the past, so in the future. This will not be the normal policy of Israel, but in cases of extraordinary situations.
The agreement to return some of the deportees right away was supposed to please everyone and restart the peace talks. So far, it's pleased almost no one, least of all in the streets and alleys of the Gaza Strip. Jesse Schulman, CBS News, Gaza.
Merrill Lynch doesn't do it. Fidelity doesn't do it. Citibank doesn't do it. There's a breakthrough in retirement investing, and only Charles Schwab does it. Only Schwab gives you the lifetime guaranteed no annual fee IRA and no load mutual funds from leading fund companies. Only Schwab gives you the single best way to buy mutual funds for your retirement. So, if you're still paying transaction fees or loads,
maybe it's time to come to Schwab.
1847, Werner Siemens opens his first factory and begins to manufacture the world's most advanced telegraph. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens has 60 factories all across America, with over 15,000 manufacturing people turning out an astonishing variety of high-tech electronic and electrical products with quality American industry can count on. Siemens, precision thinking.
23 women are now reportedly alleging unwanted sexual advances by Senator Bob Packwood. Today's Washington Post reports 13 more women have accused the Oregon Republican, joining 10 who did so last year. 2 new trials stemming from the Rodney King beating and last year's riots are looming over Los Angeles. The city is determined that this time the streets will stay peaceful, as Jerry Bowen reports.
With the upcoming trials, we still have a lot of tension in that area.
Volunteers started fanning out in South Central Los Angeles this weekend. Part of the city's new Neighbor to Neighbor program, aimed at keeping Los Angeles calm, no matter how the next round of the Rodney King case turns out.
We're looking at de-escalating the tension. I know we have a short time to do it,
but I believe we can do it.
There are two potential powder kegs, two trials this time. The federal civil rights case against the 4 policemen acquitted on the state charges in the King beating, jury selection has just begun there. And the state criminal case against the black men accused of beating white truck driver Reginald Denny. That trial starts next month, and the city is trying to get ready. Grocer Richard Ree and 30 heavily armed friends protected his store against looters for 3 days last April because no police would come. He's ready to do it again if he has to.
I think, I believe if second time around, maybe a lot of people are going to get hurt.
So Los Angeles is preparing. Volunteers talking peace, police bracing for violence, and many people wondering what the price of justice will be this time. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Obviously, there is a new style. Definitely a new priority. Most importantly, an improvement in the economy. And without a doubt, a changing of the guard.
The night wraps its naked arms around the earth. Mothers whisper to their children, hush-a-bye. Crickets chirp for quiet in the wood, as if the quiet will do them good. This is the night of a million dreams, as planets spin around our heads. What better place to be in a night like this, safely tucked into our beds? Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
Arthur Ashe, who died yesterday from AIDS-related pneumonia, will be buried Wednesday in his hometown of Richmond. Ashe's tennis heroics only set the scene for the greater battles ahead. Giselle Fernandez reports.
Arthur Ashe was one of the rare athletes who transcended the world of sports. He's being remembered not only as a tennis legend, but as a crusader who devoted his life fighting for social justice.
Arthur was so special. Because of his quiet courage and selflessness, which made a lasting impact on those he touched.
And there were many, even the President of the United States.
He's a friend of mine, and I'm very sad about it.
All his life, Arthur Ashe was a pioneer, a black man who fought his way to the top of a white man's sport. In 1975, he made history, winning Wimbledon. But titles were never enough. Ashe became a champion for racial equality. He was one of the first to fight against apartheid in South Africa and against the deportation of Haitian refugees. And then came another opponent.
Some of you heard that I had tested positive for HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. That is indeed the case.
For a man who coveted his privacy, it was a painful admission. But always the crusader, he turned adversity into activism. Even in the last days of his life, he fought for AIDS awareness, sending this video message to an AIDS conference in Connecticut.
There is still a tremendous amount of work to be done with the public.
Arthur Ashe leaves behind daughter Camera and wife Jean, who perhaps put it best. Even though he lost his battle, as in his tennis days, it was always how he played the game. Giselle Fernandez, CBS News, New York.
And that's the CBS Sunday Night News. I'm Bill Plante in New York. Good night, and have a good week.
Experience CBS News.